So I'm going to use this as Google site, okay, for today's session, whereby in this particular theme, you are going to have home. Okay, if you click at home, this is the page for home, all right. And then you can click on tips and tricks first. That is the second page, all right. And then so we are going to go through all this today, inshallah, time permits. Okay, maybe we are not covering instructional design because sometimes we haven't got time, but I believe that you are all lecturers and you will be able to actually you should have known about instructional design, a little bit about instructional design. Okay, so and then I'm going to show you some samples, okay, samples for a course, okay, related to a SIM, self-instructional design. So I hope that I'm going to be able to do this, all right, with you all, to show you how to actually build your SIM, all right? Because SIM is actually, if it is a topic SIM, it is much more easier to do, all right? Okay, so hopefully I've got time to just do this because I have the title, I have the topic objective, and then we are going to go and do much more on this, all right? Okay, so let us begin. So for today's workshop, I hope that at the end of the workshop, you will be able to identify the structure of your SIM. At least you know how to structure your SIM, and then you will be able to develop your SIM for your ODL course. Okay, so this is the two objectives for the 3-hour session with all of you. Okay, so this is the slide that I have actually used yesterday, all right, during the QA 01. Yeah, okay, so something about the CS, C is on 80, and then you can just adopt materials, existing materials. You can create original materials, and you can use other appropriate approaches. So just to highlight that, so that, and you should actually your PTG or your UNIMAS should also consider having IP for your SIM, so that you know, one is that you will get KPI for intellectual property, as well as you have the ownership for the SIM that you have developed. So this is quite important to highlight, yeah. Okay, and then so I'm going to show you the sample of text material strategy, okay, and then strategy on here. So you can refer to this, your SIM. Okay. That is okay. Have to do all for today. The main important thing that I would like to highlight is that the fact of the SIM that can be used to carry out all the function of a teacher, a tutor, or a lecturer. So SIM will do everything for us. Okay, that's why yesterday when we discussed about table 4, remember in the afternoon, when I talk about table 4, I mentioned about not too much of synchronous. Okay, not too much of synchronous. Let asynchronous part be dominant in your table 4 because this sim is going to carry out all the function for you. All right. So in conventional classes, you are going to go to the class, you are going to teach, you are going to do the activities with the students, you are going to evaluate your students and so on. However, for ODL, we are depending on the sim. That's why during MQA visits, PA, we are going to actually check, okay, the first year SIM that have been developed by the program, okay, because SIM will take care of the function of a teacher. All right, so if the SIM is going to take all the function of you as a lecturer, for example, so what you are going to do, all right, so you are going to develop the SIM. Firstly, you are going to develop the SIM so that it is going to carry out all the function. That is the first thing that you are going to do. And then the SIM will guide, okay, will guide the ODL students for self-directed learning. So when we say about SIM guiding the self-directed learners, meaning that when you develop your SIM, it is important that you are going to give a good instruction to your students. Okay, give good instruction so that your students will be able to be guided throughout the SIM with minimized problem. I said minimize, maybe they will have problem, but it is minimized. And you will be also, if they have problem, you are there to help them, but not you are going to do the lectures. That's why yesterday when I told you about table 4, then I said don't put the lecture if possible, but put others. Why? Because the lectures is being done using the video in SIM. Okay, you have actually prepared the SIM, the videos for SIM, and then your students will be able to watch or listen to your lecture in the SIM. So if they have any problems, they will ask you. They might, you might want to do a discussion session with your students. So in the table 4, you are going to put others, because others include discussion, include interaction, include whatever that you might not able to actually put in advance. Okay, maybe you change your instructional strategy after, you know, your first discussion with your students, and you see that they have problems in terms of anything. So others will include any other strategies that you use for your ODL learners. That's why I encourage you to put others rather than you put lecture. If you put lecture in your table 4, meaning that you have to give lectures. Okay, if you put tutorial, then you have to do the tutorials. If you are putting P, practical, then you have to put P, do the practical work with your students online. Okay, if let's say you are teaching accounting, then that will not be a problem, because you can do your whatever accounting work via WebEx and so on. You can actually demo and so on. So other is the safest choice if you would like to use table 4. Okay, so then the SIM will guide your student in terms of, okay, providing resources, okay, teaching and learning activities, and assessment. So these 3 is the main content or main things that should be in the SIM. Resources, teaching and learning activities, as well as assessment. So these are the main component in your SIM. However, SIM should include proper and good instruction. Okay, with some of the lecturers here, what we can see is when they provide, for example, in your e-learning platform, you just provide resources, you might provide activities, but you lack of proper and good instruction. Okay, what do I mean by that? Let me just open instruction. This is my e-learning. Okay, e-learning. This is not for ODL students, but this is what I do in my e-learning. Give proper instruction. Okay, this is the task for class before this, 1st of June. All right, so I have some notes. Okay, right. So this simple notes this week. So my instruction is we teacher using technology. I put some notes here. All right, I put before class 1st to 2nd June 2021. This week last class one that learns for other courses, right? How the app will be able to help you to be an 21st century teacher. Okay, so this is instruction for class. Okay, this is not for ODL. So to actually show you instruction in an online learning environment. You are not there with your students, but when they log in to the platform, they will see this particular instruction. Okay, and then you need to post your answer on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I put it public so that they won't just share with their friends, because I'm not. SIM should include proper and good instruction, explaining, asking questions, discussing, and monitoring student progress. That's why the SIM need to be included in the ODL platform, because we can monitor our student. If let's say you do it in Padlet, I prepared this one in Padlet, right? So the Padlet should be embedded in your e-learn platform like this lah. Okay, meaning that you are going to put the, mana ada ke contoh yang, okay. For example, macam ni lah. So this is a Padlet that is embedded in the platform. So not all platform, this is the real platform, but you can like this for monitoring your students activity in the ODL platform. So you can actually customize in the ODL platform. You know, if they have actually do this, you can put the completion of activity here. So if they have look at the whatever activity here, so they can click. For this one, I can put click, but for ODL, is do put buttons so that you monitor in this case. So you are prepared the ODL platform. Okay. So, characteristic of it is self-explanatory, it is self-contained, it is self-directed, self-motivating, self-evaluating, and self-learning. Okay, everything is about individual student, their own learning. So you are going to be actually motivating them. They can evaluate their own understanding of the topic. They can actually self-learning, whereby if you have some materials, the materials can be actually be done repeatedly, so that, you know, if the first time they are not going to, they don't understand what is the topic, then they can actually do the self-learning again and again so that they will understand. If they don't understand after a few attempts of learning, then you can they can ask you still. You can put, okay, if you have any question, please do contact me, or please use our WhatsApp group to ask question. Okay, so this is the characteristic of SIM. So is SIM is a textbook? Is SIM textbook? No, it is not. All right. So if we see here textbook versus SIM, you can see that textbook assume interest. If you see the textbook that we use for our student, it just assume it will actually attract them to learn. All right, we just assume. Okay, but for SIM, we should arouse interest. For example, if your students open your ODL platform, they see your SIM, and then they see your instruction, they see the activities and so on, then they will think, wow, this is good, this is interesting to learn, because I can see my lecturer giving discussing or delivering the notes, okay, delivering the lecture using video, okay, and then textbooks written mainly for teachers' use. When the textbooks we are looking at, we as a lecturer can refer also to the textbook. Okay, I had actually done a training last Monday. Okay, last Monday, okay, in one of the institution, I can't remember. Okay, so then it is not about creating content. It was about a portfolio, developing portfolio for Anugerah Akademi Negara actually. And then when I mentioned about not having slides in my class, I'm not using PowerPoint in my class, one of the attendee was asking, macam mana nak buat kalau tak guna slide? Okay, so I asked him, how do you prepare your slide actually? Dia kata, okay, to prepare my slide, I take a textbook or I refer to website, and then I just from my expertise, what I know and so on, so I created the slides. Okay, I said to him, all right, so you are using the textbook for your reference to develop your PowerPoint. Okay, however, for your students, it is the other way around, because when you use the textbook, you are taking the content from the textbook and you make it as a PowerPoint. So why not you change so that your student do that task? Meaning that you are going to give them, okay, today for next week topic, there will be we are going to discuss topic 3. So if we are then you give the page number of topic 3, and then you give some instruction to your student. Okay, please, based on page 79 to 84, please prepare one slide or one infographic from that particular pages and present next week. So that is the other way around of looking at things, meaning that if let's say before this you are preparing your slide from the textbook or from website, now we are going to give that task to our students. Okay, so that's why textbook written mainly for teachers use, but we can actually flip it into becoming students use. Okay, however, for the purpose of ODL student, you might do that and then you might want to ask the students to produce video and then upload somewhere, and then you will be able to see the presenting the topic. Okay, and you can also use chat for your ODL so that you can ask your students to compare which of the slides prepared by the students, their peers, can actually help them to learn. All right, but for SIM, we are doing the SIM we develop for the learners use. Okay, for the learners use. So we are doing this while you are here today. We are developing the SIM for our students. Okay, and then for textbook, we don't indicate study time, but for SIM, you must estimate the study time. Why? Because we are looking at the table for yesterday. If let's say you have you have included in the table 4 under the weekly topics, you put 4 hours of independent learning, asynchronous learning 4 hours, synchronous learning 1 hour, for example. So, or 8 hours of independent learning. So if you are developing your SIM, you must estimate, okay, this particular SIM will use how many hours of student learning time. Okay, so you need to estimate, not too long, not too short, and so on. All right, but don't worry, you won't be penalized if, let's say, you exceed a little bit of the time or do less a little bit of your SLT, your suggested SLT in table 4. It is okay, but not too long, meaning that if your SLT, you assume that the SLT for that particular topic is 6 hours, then you make it as a very long video, half an hour video, 1 hour video, because 10 minutes video, okay, I'll write in the chat box. I think that you should know 10 minutes video equal to 1 hour of SLT. All right. So 10 minutes video that you produce is equal to 1 hour of SLT. People do ask me why. Okay, why? This is from the Majlis E-Pembelajaran Malaysia, ya, MIPTA, from MIPTA and JPT. This is stated in the blended learning guidelines. Okay, so why 10 minutes video equal to 1 hour of SLT? The reason is when, for example, I give lecture like this, all right? So, but today's session is not actually for a student. However, if you are teaching in your class, you might want to ask your student question. You might want to ask them whether they understand or not, and so on. So the 1 hour of teacher and learner instruction in your synchronous class is actually supposed to be equal to 10 minutes as well, because in 10 minutes video, you don't have that interaction. You don't ask your student, understand, awak faham tak? Pelajar-pelajar faham tak apa yang saya katakan tadi? Okey, Ali tolong jawab soalan ini. Okay, kalau saya kata begini macam mana? So ada interaction in that particular 1 hour. Okay, you don't just give lecture. That is the assumption during lectures. However, in video, you have no interaction, and 10 minutes should be actually quite long for students to listen. Okay, so, and we are assuming that the 10 minutes video, the students will also rewind. Okay, for example, if they don't understand about something, they will go backwards and then they will forward and so on. So that activity, forward and backwards, include in this 1 hour of SLT. That's why 10 minutes video equal to 1 hour SLT. Yeah, that is the justification from MIPTA. Yeah. Okay, so and then if we are talking about textbook, we are designing textbook for wider marketplace. Okay, for wider markets, meaning that, you know, everybody, if you design a textbook, you are going to sell it to as much people as possible. And then your SIM design for only your students. Okay, and then in textbook, there are little or no self-assessment, but for SIM, major emphasis is on self-assessment. Okay, so this is the difference between textbooks and SIM. Okay, what are the essential parts of SIM? First, you need structure and outline of the SIM. Okay, so from today, you need to structure and outline your own SIM. What are you going to put or include in your SIM? You must structure. Okay, you cannot just put, okay, I would like to put content, I would like to put this, I would like to put this. All right, you need to outline your SIM first, and then you need to actually put course description and objectives. Okay, let me just click that. All right, so when you talk about course objective, you are talking about SMART: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. Okay, SMART. Okay, so this is how to write your objective. Okay, later on we'll go to here, but you must remember in writing your objective, like I mentioned yesterday, we use taxonomy, Bloom, and so on, but you must remember it should be specific. Okay, your CLO, okay, when we talk about CLO yesterday, it is about the course learning outcomes. Okay, overall for the course. However, for SIM, it will be much more specific, whereby you need to have topic, learning, outcome. All right, topics, learning outcome. So for example, if you have 10 topics for that particular course, each of the topics need to have their own topics outcome. Okay, jadi for the topics learning outcome, you need to actually derive it from the content of that topic. So if let's say the topic is, let me just, okay, so for example, yeah, this one. All right, this is a topic, Internet of Things in Education. Okay, this is a topic which was this week topic for my class. Okay, Internet of Things in Education. So from the topic, I would actually derive two learning outcomes for this particular topic. At the end of this topic, you will be able to discuss what is the Internet of Things, or IoT. Okay, they will be able to discuss, then they will be able to implement IoT apps, okay, application in their teaching and learning. So from this particular topic, these two topic learning outcome is expected from our student. Okay, so this is not the course learning outcome, but this is a small topic learning outcomes derived from the specific topic. Okay, so it should be measurable. I have mentioned this yesterday. You cannot use the word understand. My student will be able to understand this. So I found a lot, yeah, during my audit. Some of the lecturers, they do put understand as one of the objectives. So it is not measurable. And then it is attainable, whereby, you know, when you put that, for example, go back to here, attainable, meaning that you can see when you provide a discussion platform. Okay, so please discuss what is Internet of Things. So you will be able to observe whether your students will be able to discuss what is IoT. Alright, that is attainable. Okay, mereka boleh berbincang. Then implement IoT apps in their teaching. So they will select IoT apps and then they will match it with the topics or the title what they are going to teach when they become a teacher. For example, because I'm teaching a teacher, pre-service, I'm teaching pre-service teachers. Okay, so that's why if I can see they choose one IoT apps and then they can tell me how they are going to apply it in their teaching and learning, then this particular topic learning outcome will be able to attain by the students. Okay, and then relevant. So the objective should be relevant to the topics lah. Okay, not to, you know, sometimes we are over we would like to see more from our students, okay, and sometimes it becomes irrelevant to the topic. So make sure that the learning outcomes should be relevant and it is time-based. So for example, if I have these two topics learning outcome, meaning that I know that the students will be able to achieve this within 1 week. Okay, tak adalah ia terlalu besar ataupun dia terlalu ringkas. If I say I have only one topic learning outcome here, then mungkin it is too small for that particular topic. I think you are all the expert and you will be able to actually decide, okay, whether the topic learning outcome is according to the time that they should learn, the SLT that they should learn for that particular topic. So this is SMART, whereby you are using SMART for developing your topic learning outcomes. Okay. Okay, and then you need to select the content. All right. If let's say you can select from YouTube, for example, yes, you can. If you ask me, Dr. Azidah, boleh guna bahan dari YouTube? Yes, you can. We can adopt, we can adapt, but I always advise the lecturers, please don't rely everything on YouTube. Okay, because sometimes when you choose a YouTube, okay, you are actually, for example, you are teaching a bachelor course, okay, and you choose a YouTube content from an educator from the US. Okay, you must remember, you as a lecturer, you might be able to understand the essence of the educators from overseas, but your students might be coming from other countries, for example, or from Malaysia, and if let's say they live in Sarawak and they live in rural area, they might not actually be able to understand most of the YouTube videos that you share. That's why we encourage you to do your own videos. Although we are speaking English, for example, but our English is not that hard for our students to understand. Okay, so I would like to advise, minimize adopting other people's video, but do try to do your own video. Okay, tak sedap pun tak apa. You know, you think that suara saya ni tak sesuai lah. I see, you know, I've my friends also selalu cakap, Azidah, alamak, dah rakam tadi, tapi bila dengar balik, pelik lah dengan suara sendiri and so on, so tak jadi. Okay, tak nak guna. Alright, then that will take actually your time to develop over and again. Nak tunggu puas hati tu memang akhirnya tak puas hati juga dan akhirnya tak jadi. Alright, that is my experience, yeah. So that's why after, for example, yeah, This is the video that I produced the night before. After I have actually okay, I have actually created the video. Assalamualaikum everybody. Okay, I just don't. Today we are going to discuss IoT education. I just don't review the video. I just put it in my email. Okay, because I think that the students also see me during synchronous learning. They also see me like this. Meaning that this is myself kan. Jadi tak payahlah saya nak susah-susah memikirkan bahawa senyum muka saya tak cantik sebab tu saya bercakap whatever lah. Okay. So this is the video that I produced that I use it for my class and I took around 30 minutes only to produce this and all the content for my students. Okay, jadi ia tak ambil masa yang lama. Mungkin you kata, Dr. Azidah biasalah, dah pandai, dah biasa guna. Yes, I do actually encounter, whereby I do the video and then I delete and then I was not confident and so on. Alright, so but I think that lama-lama kita akan rasa okay because we have to do a lot of videos and we have to make the we make the video customized to our students. So I don't think you have time to actually look at yourself and see okay my suara tak sedap, my tudung is sengit, whatever, yang tu boleh diabaikan. Alright, actually kalau you dapat produce a video like this, it is clear. Okay, you can see that the voice is clear. Actually, technology that the direction.
Dr. Azidah. Dr. Azidah. Saya nak tanya, yang video ini yang dimaksudkan 10 minit equal to 1 hour kan?
Betul.
Kalau video yang bukan kita buat sendiri, macam kita ambil dari YouTube tu, boleh tak consider as 10 minute equal to 1 hour?
Boleh juga. Sebab dia tak ada
Boleh
interaction. Yeah, if they don't have any interaction, if they like just drink macam ni lah, okay, then it is okay.
Walaupun video tu bukan video kita, bukan yang kita yang buat.
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as the content is accurate, dan dia tidaklah ada buat aktiviti dekat dalam tu whereby dia ada interaction dengan orang lain ke whatever lah. Mungkin interaction tu about the content should be okay.
Yeah, okay, terima kasih.
Okay, so yang ini tadi saya tunjukkan yang 4 walls of our class. Yang ni saya pakai not so dia kelas. So I pakai sini what I have here. Ini yang pertama. So when just so it's easy in terms of I know what to talk about easily. I would time that I actually alright, so example lah yang saya ada video daripada YouTube, alright, but it is content only. Okay, like this juga. For example, you have introduction to industrial revolution, and then you have effects of IR 4.0 on education in Malaysia. So these two, I use the YouTube video, but I actually don't advise you to put many lah. Okay, sometimes you can put, but mostly I would advise you all to do the video by yourself, so that I think that the feel of sense of belonging to the class, okay, and they feel that their lecturers are there to help them in terms of learning, okay, is important for ODL student. Okay, Alright, then you are creating the content, you create interactive activities, okay? How to create interactive activities and creating interactive, you can also create interactive content. Interactive content kalau katalah if you don't have video, okay? Macam video ni tadi kan? Let me show you. Okay, video ini I develop my own video. Katalah you don't use your own video, tak sempat nak buat own video for example, tapi for ODL wajib ya sebenarnya, tetapi if you say okay I don't want to create a video but I would like to actually use YouTube video for student, you can also use H5. Ni H5. Let me check. 5P, I think it's here. So this is what we interactive video. Macam so sikit hari. Okay, so I give answer this video. You have the resources, also you have quiz embedded in this particular video. Kali ini adalah the video. This is the video that you would like your student to watch. Okay, they are going to watch this what is plagiarism. And you see that Dr. This is using H5P in model in our platform. So you just, for example, they watch this. Okay, so bila dia tarik, dia dah tengok until dia then yeah,
it is over.
okay, reason, and the students should answer this before they go on watching the video. Okay, so katalah dia click that one, salah. Alright, so and then next question will appear. What is an example of plagiarism? Okay, use another person's words, ideas or information, use another verse and give credit. So this one, that's correct. And then what is the most common form of plagiarism? Paraphrasing without citation. Good. All right. Jadi dia akan answer here. Then they will be able to continue.
Dangerous, magical way many children think.
Okay. Then sampai kat sini. Example ada summary. It is assumed that tengoklah one whole video. And choose correct statement. Katalah just okay. Your result is one out of one. Right? Okay, habis. So this is what we call interactive, whereby you create the interactive video content. No need for you to actually describe. You can actually ambil lah video mana-mana macam doktor tanya tadi. Boleh ambil video YouTube? Yes, you can. Alright, and you can make it as interactive content inside your ODL platform using H5P or whatever other apps that you have. Then you are creating interactive content. Jadi tak adalah they just watch the video without, you know, kena tengok, kena listen, but they are going to listen and then try to answer the quiz. And with that kind of interactive content, you are also including the self-evaluation, self-assessment together. So ada content dan ada self-assessment. Okay. Ia juga adalah aktiviti sebenarnya, but you can go beyond that lah. Alright. So yang itu boleh diletakkan dalam SIM so that you will make sure that your students will be able to understand the content, they will be able to evaluate their understanding of the content and so on. So remember when we say about SIM, it can be used to carry out all the function of the teacher, of a teacher or a lecturer. So when you do the interactive content, then student, oh okay, dah buat ni, faham. Okay, then dah buat the quiz within the content, interactive content. Oh okay, now I know that I understand the content. Jadi dia dah belajar, kan? So if let's say they don't understand, they can contact you and ask questions. So not too much work during the class time, the 14 week, but when you have prepared your SIM earlier in the semester, during the semester you are just going to facilitate your learners. Okay, that's why I said yesterday you only have 5 weeks. Okay, boleh jumpa your student 5 weeks only for synchronous. No need for 14 weeks because the SIM already prepared to be you. Okay, to replace you as a teacher, to carry out all the things that you always done in your classroom. Okay, then however, okay, they are ODL learners, okay, and they might not be learning from ODL before this. Okay, they might not be ODL student before this. So apabila mereka they are not ODL learners, they are new to ODL, they might expect that you are going to guide them throughout the course, meaning that you are going to give lectures. Okay, maybe some of them are newly graduate learners. For example, they actually, if let's say you are teaching an ODL master course, and then the student, they graduate from normal university course, the conventional one, and then they enroll in ODL masters. They might be, expecting you to teach them similarly, okay, using the same types, the same teaching methods, which is no. Okay, you are not going to use the teaching strategies and methods similar to conventional students, okay, but you actually need them to be self-directed. They will learn using self-directed learning. So before you actually start your class, your ODL class, you need to prepare your students, okay, because they might not be prepared themselves. So you need to actually assess the readiness of your student to learn via ODL. Kena tanya mereka, kena just ask your students, okay, have you been, how did you learn before this? Do you know what is ODL and so on? All right, so students need various skills and attitudes toward learning for successfully independent studies, such as student life skills, student study skill, independent planning skill, and so on. The most important thing, the institution need to actually introduce this during orientation week. Okay, meaning that the institution need to highlight, or the program coordinator need to highlight to the students, okay, in this particular program, you need to be able to manage your time. For example, if you are learning, you are working, okay, full time, and you are doing this master ODL part time. So you really need to manage your time, plan your time. You need to put aside 2 hours of your time every day to actually do the for your study time, for example. So this they need to learn during the orientation week. Okay, the program coordinator should actually teach them or prepare them with to assess their readiness to learn. If they don't have the planning skills and so on, they won't be able to survive the ODL lah. They will be stressed and so on. All right, and then set the learning goals. Okay, so you must actually set the learning goals for the students. Okay, let me just go to, sit down here, not here. Just go to the structure of the SIM, right? But I would like to show you your line is this one. Okay, this one. All right. So I have this from a complete course, 2 modules. Okay. Jadi when I just now I mentioned about structuring in here earlier just now. So I would like to show you this so that you will be able to structure your course so that you are going to be able to develop your SIM according to the time given to your to the topics. Okay, for example, okay, this is your course ABC 1, 2, 3. So from ABC 1 to 3, you have 3 learning outcomes, course learning outcomes that you include in your table 4. So you have CLO1, you have CLO2, you have CLO3. Okay, so for example, from CLO1, you have 2 topics, all right? And then from these 2 topics, you are going to have what I mentioned earlier, topics learning outcome. If let's say the topic is quite big, for example, one topic can be finished in 2 weeks. So you might want to further distribute the topics into modules. Okay, kalau topik itu besar lah, but if the topic is small, you might want to stop it just to the topics. Kalau topik dia sangat besar, for example, it is a big topic, then you can actually divide to 3 modules or 4 modules. Okay, and you are going to prepare the SIM for everything lah. Okay, jadi it's up to you. Mungkin you want to do a topic SIM. Okay, it is up to you. You are the expert, but please do have the course learning topics learning outcome. So this is how we structure and plan our SIM. Okay, this is how we structure our SIM so that it will be easier. If you refer to your table 4 yesterday, the topic comes from the where we divided the SLT on the table, right? Okay, so it is easier. You know that topic 1, you will have for example 10 hours of SLT, then you will be able to bahagikan, divide into resources, how many hours, activity, how many hours, and so on. Okay. All right. So go back to our home. So that was the structure and sequence of activity. First, we structure the course and then we do the sequences of the activities. For example, here for the sequence of activity, I just put in Padlet this type of Padlet because it is easier for us to just visualize. Okay. for example, the sequence, you have the title, and then you have the topic learning outcome. So after the topic learning outcome, you would like to actually put resources. Yeah, this is an example. Okay, resources. For example, the title is what is IoT in education. All right. And then you are going, I just put the video here. Saya ada coffee time di sini. Okay. Alright. So you go down here. Sekejap ya, saya ambil video tadi. Okay, this is the video tadi yang saya buat tadi. Katalah saya nak letak, I would like to put this. I would like to put this. Pula tadi. Share. Tak blind tengah slow. Mana pula saya tak boleh share? Yeah. Let me just go to YouTube. Okay, so my channel. Katalah saya nak masuk this one ya. Contoh sajalah. Right, so saya akan masukkan share. And then I just copy this one. Assalamualaikum. Okay, so saya akan letak dekat dalam this one. I just letak link. Then I save. Okay, so this is structuring. For example, I have this video IoT. So under here, I will write, please remember your instruction. Please watch this video. Okay, about ICT fundamentals. And then answer the quiz after this. Okay, all right. So then, together. For example lah. Okay, so then you have, this is your title. You might want to put the title here, and then at the end of the topic, this is what you are expecting your students to be able to do at the end of the topic, and then you put a video there. All right. Remember, we are now structuring the sequences of the activity. Okay, then you pergi sini and then you add again. All right. Katalah after this, just now I mentioned about then answer the quiz. So then I'm going to put a quiz here. Katalah I have this quiz in Quizlet. Okay, so I'm going to actually embed this in the module. Okay. I'm going to embed copy HTML. URL. It is not embedding, sorry. So need to share. Is the share button. Right.
Assalamualaikum Dr. Azidah.
Yes, saya.
The one that you are showing right now yang same for one of the topic kan of the course. So when I look through, so maksudnya yesterday you mentioned that SIM does not necessarily be in the form of PDF or written document lah, like previously, right? It can be in interactive SIM like this. So it can be a mixture lah, maksudnya some unit can be in the Padlet format and another unit can be in, as long as it has the content lah, content resources,
Betul.
and learning activities and also the self-evaluation assessment lah kan?
Betul.
Okay, so it will be
tetapi you must actually embed this macam saya buat ni. Boleh dengar tak? You must embed this. You must embed, for example macam ni kan, sekarang saya sedang structure dekat dalam this one kan. So katalah this is the SIM that we have prepared for a topic. Jadi kalau ini adalah your ODL platform, you must embed this in the mana tadi saya letak?
In the
ODL platform. Jadi dia mesti organize
in the specific unit lah tu kan.
Ya, betul. Dekat unit dia lah. Maksudnya this is topic kan. This is the unit. You kena masukkanlah Padlet tu yang you dah buat dalam ni. So if for example you buat dalam Google Site, for example, you must give the link to the Google Site to that particular topic. Kena letaklah dalam ni. Begitu.
Okay. I was thinking that in this case kalau kita guna LMS kan, our e-learning platform apa tu e-learn, so we can the layout will be per apa tu topic or per unit kan, and then include all
Ya,
this. Boleh lah, maksudnya kita just when we show it to the M2A, we can show the e-learn platform itself, is it? Something like that.
Yes, betul.
So
Meaning
we
that
don't
kalau
need to
saya
print out.
Yeah, no. If I am the auditor, I would like to request for password sebenarnya. Sometimes I just request, okay, I need a password. You can give me a guest password to your e-learn.
Right.
And then I will review based on what I see in the e-learn lah. Jadi kalau katalah, okay, this is your e-learn, and then katalah you buat macam I ni kan, buat satu this is considered a SIM lah, my Google Site ni kan considered as a SIM for example, and then you just put a link here, you ambil link Google Site ni, and then you kat you punya course, you letak tajuk lah, for example self-instructional material. Hi guys, today we are going to learn about self-instructional material, so please view the materials in this link. So you letak link kat sini. Atau kalau you nak embed the Google Site pun boleh lah. Tapi kalau susah, then you just provide the link, okay, and then the auditor will actually click at the link, and then they will be able to go here and see what you have prepared for your student. Macam tu. Jadi tak semestinya ini structured in dalam ni, you kena guna everything yang ada dalam you punya e-learn. Kadang-kadang yelah, we need to do something else that tak ada dalam this e-learn kan.
Guna outside
kan, you nak guna another thing, whatever lah, another apps and so on. So you can actually put your link to the whatever platform that you are using. Begitu. So sekarang ni auditor agak fleksibel lah, agak fleksibel.
Okay. Sebab earlier on we are imagining that we need to ada modul yang like you said lah, kita beranggapan kita sediakan modul yang bertulis yang macam traditional modul lah.
Yes, kalau dulu-dulu, let me just show you Dr. Kartini. Kat mana saya letak ya? dulu-dulu, tutup YouTube. My internet pun dah jadi slow. So saya lah constructing self-instructional material saya akan cover, but saya nak tunjuklah dulu-dulu kita buat macam ni. Dulu-dulu kita buat macam ni. It is in PDF. Okay, when the apa orang kata PPT would submitted their PA, they have to include this PDF file to MQA juga. Okay, dia akan tunjuklah kalau course dia ada 10 dalam that particular program, semua PDF file akan diletakkan dalam the application, akan dimasukkan as appendixes lah of SIM dalam the application. But now kita mungkin you boleh tunjukkan, okay, semua SIM akan berada di dalam Elite, okay, bagi URL ini. So to access, mungkin you boleh letak QR code for example dalam you punya PA tu, dalam appendix, if you would like to put appendices, and then you put QR code, then the auditor will be able to scan the QR code, or you bagi link lah, and then you bagi username and password, they will be able to access your Elite, then they will be able to see lah whatever you have in your Elite. Jadi all the instructions semua-semua tu dia akan tengok lah. Dulu memang macam ni, kita hantar. Jadi sebab dulu pada satu ketika dulu, this is tahun bila, yang ni saya buat yang dia activities for integrating technology for ECA, ECC, early childhood classroom. So yang ini memang saya buat SIM ni whereby I have to actually ada unit overview, unit 4.1 learning activity, semua-semua, sebab dulu tak boleh buat secara interaktif. So kita buat dalam PDF, and then we have like notes here. Okay, unit objective. This is the objective, topic objective that I mentioned just now. Okay, discuss, differentiate, apply, and then they have these notes that they have to read. Sebab dulu tak ada video kan. So kita letak gambar and so on. And remember kalau dulu when we do the PDF punya SIM, whatever gambar yang kita letak ni, whatever photos that we letak kat sini, we kena letak dekat apa orang kata, reference. Okay, kalau tak ada reference, sebab it should be open license, ya. Apa-apa yang kita letak dalam SIM kita should be open license. Tetapi sekarang ni sebab kita boleh embed the YouTube, kalau the YouTube for example give permission to embed, then you can embed. So you can directly go to the website lah, the YouTube lah. So we don't have to do this. But dulu-dulu memang kita kena letak all the open source gambar dalam the SIM should be open source. You cannot use the copyrighted photo and so on. So dah sangat susah lah. Alright, yang ni pun open license, kena ada source, Google open license, label for reuse, boleh digunakan. Okay, yang ini semua dulu. Sekarang kalau if let's say the HCP submitted with this PDF, we would like them to actually tukar and make it interactive. Sebab now we know that we have various types of interactive content that we can provide to our students. So why we want them to just read the SIM kan? So that's why we have video now lah. But later on I'll show you more about this, sebab di dalam ni dia ada content but still ada activity although it's PDF SIM. Okay. Alright.
Yeah,
So
I can see that we can transfer lah maklumat daripada yang PDF tu pun sebenarnya sama juga. Cuma kita kena transferkan dan tukarkan kepada more interactive format lah kot. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Azidah.
Betul. Alright. Okay. So tadi saya nak masuk dalam sini. Alright. Sini. So this is the quiz lah. Tak nampak pula kat dalam ni, but the quiz is for example kita letak interactive quiz ya. For example, Quizlet ya. Yang ni sebenarnya yang saya nak letak di sini tapi tak boleh nak nampak pula. So this is the quiz that I would like to include in my sim. So apabila when the students already watch this particular video, dia akan buat quiz. So this quiz should be interactive whereby, so this is the sample of the quiz. Dia boleh start the game. Alright, this is match. So bila dia duduk seorang-seorang, dia can choose the study mode pun. So katalah blended learning is what? So dia akan click and then click there. Alright, so this is how the interactive activity, interactive quiz that it is self-learning, it is self-evaluation. Dia faham tak what is design thinking? Okay, saya try. Betul pula, alright. So IoT for example, salah, okay. Then flip classroom. Alright, until they can finish the learning communities and then Internet of Things. Then they finish. Alright, so you can see that macam ni sebab memang activity class, I can see the students, other students that have been doing this particular quiz. Okay, jadi kalau kita rujuk pada sini tadi, this is the quiz lah. Kemudian mungkin you want to add something here. Okay, after you have done whatever, actually kita adalah ya, this is quiz. You upaya is that. Okay. And then we have another one. Okay. After you have done the quiz, buat lagi satu activity kat sini. You can actually discussion. Okay, please discuss apa-apalah kan. So, please discuss how can you use Quizlet in, for example lah, discussionnya, your classroom. Okay, so then discussion here, alright. So nanti student boleh jawab lah. Okay, so then you ambil ni, you letak dekat your elite platform. Okay. Oh, saya dah tertutup. Alright, so you will be able to see it in your e-learning platform lah. Jadi you just nanti you pergi share, you pergi embed and then copy and then you put it in your e-learning platform, your elite. So dah jadi satu theme di sini according to one topic. Okay. So, yep. Let me just go home again. Alright, and then details about resource materials for each goal. Okay, so setiap learning objective mesti ada resources. You should actually, kalau you letak just one resource macam ni, it won't be enough. For example, you would like them to search more on what is Internet of Things, so you might want to provide link to what is IoT, pergi cari and then enter URL and then please read more on the IoT based on this particular website. Cukuplah tu. So mungkin this whole activity that you have included in this sim will be 4 hours of student SLP. Okay, cukuplah tu. Alright. So dalam sini you can see that we have resources satu, we have self-evaluation quiz, we have discussion with self-learning activities, and you have other resources that will actually support the students' learning. Okay, so you embed this in your elite, then done. Alright, you have actually structure and you have actually put the activity in sequence. Okay, and then this is, okay, for example, this is one sim, but more you need to actually detail out the grading procedure, for example, okay, but this might not be like in each of the sim, because we have the self evaluation, self-learning activity. It might not be graded, but it might be taken into consideration that is for their attendance. In ODL, we don't take attendance, but we consider their participation as their attendance, meaning that if, let's say, they don't participate, then they are considering not doing the work lah. But that is the task for the lecturers to be able to monitor the students, tengok learning analytics dalam you punya ODL platform and see when was your student last access the SIM, okay, your learning materials and so on. Then if let's say the last login was 3 weeks ago, for example, then you might need to contact the student and ask, okay, I can see that you are not login to the elite. Do you have any problem? Do you want me to conduct a synchronous class so that whatever lah. Okay, so then that is the task of the instructor. Okay, meaning that you only monitor the student remotely from the e-learning platform, the ODL platform. So you need to check the learning analytics regularly. Okay, that's why the SIM is replacing us as educator, because kita dah sediakan everything. The SIM will work by itself. You have instruction and so on, tetapi we as the educators, we need to do the monitoring. Okay, jadi usually when I audit, kalau dia letak, okay, every week ada synchronous class, then I said no need to put every week you have Webex perjumpaan, sebab you will actually membebankan your student, alright, with that synchronous class, because ODL student need much more space. Okay, they need much more flexibility compared to the residential students. So if you have every week synchronous class, then they might not be able to cope with the learning. Tak nampak? Ni tak nampak ni ya ke? Sekejap, saya bersih. Nampak tak?
Kecil je.
Dia besar, dia kecil. Besarkan sikit.
Sekejap saya command plus.
Kadang-kadang dia yang tak nampak sikit kot.
Okay, saya dah besar sikit. Nampak?
Mata semua.
Boleh. Boleh nampak.
Saya just control plus, dia akan besar lah. Alright, this is the way when we use when we use website as our materials. Okay, kalau ada masalah orang tak nampak, just tekan control plus, nanti website itu akan besar lah. So you will be able to see it much more bigger. Kena beritahu je. Alright, then we have feedback and evaluation as each goal is completed. Okay, yang ni boleh letak meeting plan with the advising instructor, yang saya cakap tadi, synchronous. So if let's say they said, okay, doctor, I don't understand. They contacted you and say, doktor, saya rasa saya masih blur lah dengan topik IoT ini. Can we meet synchronously? Then you can actually letak plan list to when we are going to meet. Okay. Alright, then agreement of unit policies such as a policy on late assignment. Kadang-kadang the ODL student, they are usually late lah. Okay, we must consider their situation and so on. It is berbeza dengan pelajar yang our existing students, because the existing student memang kalau kita kata esok kena hantar, they try to lah, tapi ODL student ni sometimes they are adults with kerja and so on kan, sometimes they are frontliners ya, kita ada ramai frontliners. For example, kami di USM we have the PPJJ students, and then last week I did taklimat peperiksaan dalam talian. Okay, and then they were like, "Alah, saya ni frontliner, nak kena ada exam ke?" dan sebagainya. Jadi kena minta cuti, kalau saya tak boleh cuti hari tu macam mana, and so on. Okay, that is ODL student ya. That was ODL student waktu taklimat exam, di mana kita dah sediakan jadual exam, dan they said that I am frontliners, I have to work during the exam. Okay, so itu adalah masalah yang kita hadapi with the ODL students. Maka we might want to put some policy on late assignment. For example, if you are late, you need to inform us about why you are late, or maybe you are working and so on, whatever lah. So kita mesti ada polisi tentang perkara tersebut yang perlu di-highlight kepada students. Kemudian, engage in learning process without you be with them. Okay, jadi bila you buat SIM itu mesti pastikan they can engage. Alright, they can engage without you be with them lah. Maksudnya, students should also considering answering the following question. What are my needs? Okay, jadi mungkin ada students yang mungkin dia ada komputer. Alright, they have computer, but during their work time, they are not able to access their computer. Tapi dia nak belajar, mungkin dia ada free time. For example, balik sebab a few days ago, we actually propose a new Excel program, GPT lah. Jadi I am one of the ketua project, whereby my project is POISE. The name is Personalized Experiential Learning. Jadi dalam that particular project kita ada kita ada 3 model, dan satu model tu adalah kita punya senario adalah seorang cleaner. Okay, seorang cleaner ni dia dah belajar, they are going through, they want to learn lah, to expand dia punya ni study to do study, because before this they were less fortunate. Okay, now they want to learn and so on. So that's why dalam kepala saya ada cleaner saja. So cleaner, for example they might be doing their work as a cleaner. Dia tak boleh lah pula nak bawa komputer while they are working kan. Jadi but they have handphones and they would like to hear. Okay, so mungkin student boleh consider answering this following question. What are my needs? Okay, what kind of instructional methods that I need? Okay, so bila you tanya student, you might want to ask your student. Okay, sebenarnya cara belajar yang macam mana you rasa you nak. Okay, so then you ask, dia akan jawab lah, sebenarnya saya tak perlu sangat video sebab saya punya data tak ada, sebab saya cleaner, jadi saya ada less data. Boleh tak kalau saya nak dengar audio saja, saya tak perlu buka video sewaktu saya bekerja. For example, I can listen but I cannot watch. Okay, jadi mungkin their needs are using podcast. Alright, and then you can actually use podcast. I have is it this one? Saya tertutup pula. Saya buka balik Padlet tu. Oh, I have it here. Alright, so I have one contoh podcast. Okay. Not here. Mana saya letak? I have the podcast whereby mungkin your students, they don't want to learn from video. Okay, video pun sebenarnya sometimes kita agak susah nak buat. So how about doing a podcast to your student? Mungkin satu lagi lah. Sekejap, saya buka Padlet. Saya Padlet saya memang saya subscribe, so I have many Padlets lah sebenarnya. Ada 193. So for example podcast this is my students work, tetapi you can actually do this for your ODL course. Ya, saya bagi satu contoh. Nah, ini tugasan ke my students sebab saya nak mereka belajar how to create podcast, and I found that some of them are really good in terms of using their voice, just voice. Okay, let me just Janet, okay, this one. Okay, so when you share podcast, it is like something like this only, and you can just listen to the podcast.
Hello, hai. Semua hari ini cikgu nak berkongsi tentang kepentingan belajar sejarah. Sejarah bosanlah. Sejarah bukan bidang aku lah. Mengantuk lah. Hafal. Fakta. Benarkah sejarah itu membosankan? Tidak ya murid-murid. Kerana sejarah itu menyeronokkan. Sejarah itu menjadikan kita seolah-olah seperti seorang peguam yang sentiasa berfikir.
Okay, so this type of learning can actually be done to some of your SIM. Maksudnya you boleh letak podcast so that your students will be able to actually just listen. For example, the cleaner tadilah, okay, dia buka podcast tersebut hanya voice. It is only voice, and then dia letak dalam poket dia ke whatever, while they are cleaning, they can actually listen to the podcast. So this is the flexible learning that we are looking for. Mungkin kalau kita letak YouTube pun sama, dia boleh buka YouTube tu tersebut, tetapi when we use YouTube, they are going to use a very much more data lah for their phone. Jadi mungkin they don't prefer that. Okay, so we must actually consider our student juga. So podcast is one of the way lah. Saya memang suka podcast sebab my students also yang ini yang saya minta mereka sediakan ni, ramai yang cakap, yang inilah first time saya buat, for example, this is my first podcast. I never know or either learn about how to use podcast. Okay, jadi dia tak pernah guna, tetapi bila dia dah guna, dia rasa, lepas tu dia message, Doktor, best lah guna podcast ni. For example, for now PDPR kan, whereby teacher dia guna Telegram, and then dia apa orang kata, share YouTube orang lain dan sebagainya. So why not they use podcast so that the students will be able to learn by listening only. Okay, we can actually cater the needs for audio learners. Okay, so mungkin itu yang perlu di-consider oleh kita sebagai seorang guru lah, sebagai seorang lecturer. Okay, for ODL learners. Okay, so boleh tanya soalan ni lah untuk mengetahui what are the students need. Alright. And then you also need to evaluate your student learning. Okay, so student also need to understand their approach to studying. So kita sebagai guru, sebagai lecturer ODL, our task is to actually understand our student. Alright, we need to know our student. Tapi di USM, for example, I think they have problems about our ODL students. In a class, we have like 400 students in a course here. So we have so many takers for our PJJ programs. So kalau macam tu, it is very hard for us to actually do this, evaluate our students' learning. And I can see that, itu saya bercakap tentang my university itself lah. I can see that, what the lecturers do is they just record video, and then they put discussion in the ODL platform. okay, sometimes they don't have time to actually interact with the student. If you know they post question, the students post question, answer the question, and then there will be no interaction. But for MQA, we do hope that you will actually interact with your student. There will be evidence of interaction with your students. Okay. Jadi sebenarnya, alright, in a sim, first you need to have introduction. Start your course with a warm welcome, and then you have chapters or section or topics, alright. Then you have lessons, and then you have conclusion. So dalam lesson inilah yang mengandungi the resources, the self-learning as well as the self-evaluation. Okay, so later on I'm going to show you this one. Okay, so we are going to take a break around 10 minutes so that you can have a toilet break or whatever. Okay, so can we be back sekarang 10.37 dalam 10.47? Boleh tak Dr. Mazlina?
Boleh.
Alright. Okay, later on I'll show you about this this course lah, this contoh of a sim. Alright, thank you. See you.
Kita jumpa semula 10.47 ya untuk semua participants. Okey, boleh pergi minum kopi dan sebagainya. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Saya rasa boleh start lah kot balik semula 10.47.
Salam. Boleh Dr. Azidah?
Alright, okay. So saya just nak share sebab in USM we have this micro credential, right? Semua orang dengar tentang micro credential, tetapi sebenarnya micro credential adalah one types of self-instructional material sebab it is designed for ODL learners, and in micro credential kita tak ada the lecturers, they are not there. Okay, just saya bukannya nak tunjukkan the micro credential itself, but I would like to show you all. If you go to our website nantilah bila after the course, bila you ada free, you go to cdae.usm.my, alright, and you can see yang ni apa yang saya buat, alright. So course mapping template. Alright, this course mapping template can be used for SIM ya. Okay, for your SIM. Jadi yang ini memang kami buka untuk semua orang. Kalau nak download boleh download lah. Kalau you all tak sign in, you boleh download saja. You just klik dekat CDAE ni, you cari template course mapping template. Ada download template. So the template here, alright, apa yang saya buat, this is the course yang IoT tadi yang saya tunjukkan. Alright, so dalam ini, this is based on table 4 sebenarnya. Apa yang saya buat ni, dia based dari table 4, cuma ianya it will actually help me to calculate the SLT for this course. Okay, sebab it is important in SIM that we know that each of the topics are related to student SLT dan lebih kurang ianya sama akan mencapai, it will achieve the SLT that we provided for the course. So we have here the course name and the unit is 3 units. Okay, and then I have the course synopsis similar to the in table 4, all right, and then the course learning outcome, we have PO2, C2, and so on, all right, we have A4, and so on, all right. So what I would like to show is this one, okay, the course mapping, we have CLO, the course learning outcome here, and then we have module, we have topics, and we have module, we have MLO, activities and assessment, okay. So dalam sini, in here, you can see that we have CLO1, the topics or chapter. It depends lah ya, in your institution you call it topics ke, you call it chapters ke, is okay. Alright. And then you have, for example, the first topic is Introduction to ICT in Education. Okay. So in here we have module. We have module 1, concept of ICT in education. All right, so in topic 1, we have only one module yang tanda merah tu, and then I have the micro learning outcomes, okay, or topics learning outcome lah. Okay, explain what is ICT in education. At the end of these topics of this module, student will be able to explain what is ICT in education, and student will be able to discuss teacher's role as instructional designer. Okay, so you tengok sini, this is the micro module learning outcome. Then we have actually design the content. Okay, susun the content whereby for this particular module, module 1, we have 2 videos. Okay, remember I said just now 10 minutes video equal to 1 hour of SLT. So I have one video 10 minutes. Saya akan buat the video tentang ICT in education. It will take me around 10 minutes. And then I have another video titled Applying Instructional Design ID in Designing Your Lesson. So 2 10 minutes video equal to SLT 2 hours. Okay, jadi when you do like this, you will be able to actually structure the whole course. And then student-centered learning activities. This is self-learning activities and assessment. Okay, self-evaluation. For example, the forum is, I put activity forum. What do you do before you go into a classroom? As a teacher lah. Okay, so I assume that, okay, kalau dia nak discuss about what do you do, first they need to think. Okay, mula kena fikir. Saya mungkin they are not teachers yet. Okay, so they are going to think about, okay, what do their teachers do before dia masuk class. So they are going to do a lesson plan, for example, and then they are going to cari. So the thinking, dalam SLT, the thinking part also need to be included. So how many minutes actually we assume that student think when they are going to answer this forum? Okay, mungkin 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then after they have actually think, they are going to write. So how many minutes they are going to write? Okay, mungkin you akan letak di sini the forum, you need to answer at least 100 words, for example. Okay, so actually in the USM we also have the words count. Yeah, we have USM Assessment Guideline. Kalau 100 words, berapa minit? We have that. Okay, alright, in USM we do that USM Assessment Guideline. So you can actually for us in USM we refer to that lah. Kalau kita bagi discussion macam ni, lebih kurang SLT dia 1 hour. So for the whole module ni, okay, it will take 3 hours of student learning time. Okay, so dah ambil 3 hours. Kemudian topik 2. Topik 2 will be 21st Century Education Model. So topik ini agak besar, it is quite big. So I assume that I need 2 modules. Okay, for this particular topic, this is CLO2. Okay, in module 2, I would like to discuss about 21st century skills in learning and teaching. And then I would like students to be able to differentiate digital natives and digital immigrants. For example, okay, so the content, I'm going to provide them 3 videos, 1 video 10 minutes, 1 video 5 minutes, and 1 video 15 minutes. So the total of the videos SLT 3 hours. Okay, I just put 1, 2, 3 videos. I didn't mention about interactive video. If you would like to make it very specific, you can. 1 video 10 minutes, just the usual video. But the 1 video 5 minutes, you can make it as interactive video. For example, So meaning that you don't have to rakam, you don't have to record, but you are going to use Genially, for example, to develop that interactive video. It is also can. Alright, so this video will count to 3 hours of SLT. And then for student activity, I ask them to do mind mapping activities, applying 21st century model to different subjects. So I have SLT of 1 hour. So this particular module, SLT dia 4 hours. So I do it for all topics in my course, so that at the end, I will have 10 modules. Okay. Jadi di tengah-tengah ni sebenarnya I tak isi pun. Just, meaning that include, I mention here, include all topics, module, micro learning outcomes, activity, assessment here lah dekat dalam blank ni sama dengan XSLT. So di sini akhirnya ada conclusion, module 10, SLT 2.5 hours based on content, and then SLT 1 hour based on assessment and SCL activity. So it is actually you to design this one lah. Yang ni saya agak-agak saja. Alright, so that we actually not exceed our SLT in our table 4, as well as we don't actually apa orang kata, buat less SLT for our course lah. Okay, for our SIM. Alright, so this is actually the guide that I use to prepare my SIM. Okay, so that it will be actually 122 credits, tak kurang sangat dan sebagainya lah. Kalau after you kira-kira yang merah ni SLT ni, and then suddenly you tengok-tengok, alamak, less than 0.5 hours, tak apalah, that should be okay, sebab yang ini kita just agak-agak sahaja. Alright, kita agak-agak, jadi kalau kurang setengah jam or 1 hour should be okay lah. Then during our development, the real development, kita boleh tambah di sana sini lah, so should be okay. So this is the calculation. For example, module 1 to 5 yang saya ada dekat atas sini, so I have it like 25 hours of SLT. Then I have module X yang saya tak tulis, excess hours of SLT. Then module 10, 3.5 hours of SLT. Jadi I have 10 modules equal to 25 plus XXX plus the 3.5, that akhirnya menjadi 122 hours of SLT for my SIM lah, for that particular course. Alright, so notes, number of modules vary from one course to another. So bila you dah buat this course mapping, it might be different from your colleague punya module lah. Kalau different course kan, jangan cakap mesti ada 10 topik tau. 10 topik mesti ada 10 module. No, not necessarily. It's up to your SLT, your design of the structure of the course and so on. Alright, and then 10 minutes video equal to 1 hour SLT. Activity or assessment may varies for each module. Jadi you boleh design different activity or different assessment for each module. So this is the actually course mapping ya. You boleh pergi ke CDAE at USM. Saya boleh share kot. I just put it in the chat box. Okay, dah ada dah. Alright, so yang ini adalah alright, so ini adalah dah ada Dr. Kartini dah share dekat chat box. So yes, you can download because we allow everybody to download this lah. So this is a sample, jadi you boleh guna as a guide. Maybe your course will be different, but you can actually ikut keperluan, the need of your course. Okay, not necessarily should be the same as mine, but this can guide you to make sure that you have ample modules, you are covering all the topics that you have, and importantly, the SLT for your SIM is actually mencapai apa yang MQA nak. Alright, so yes, please download. Don't worry about not kami tak bagi download ke whatever, but it is okay lah, download saja. Alright, okay, let me just show you. Okay, this is one of our module. Okay, QMT. Wait, I see that there is no need to explicitly state guided SLT and non-guided SLT as in conventional course outline, isn't it? Yes, because you don't put the guided or non-guided because SIM is non-guided. Remember, when we do a SIM, we actually do the non-guided. However, let's say, let me go back to the SIM, okay? You have module 1, module 3, module 2, and module 3. What you can add here is, for example, okay, this is if you buat 122 credits as SIM. But let's say you like to meet your student for synchronous 5 times, and each of the 5 times you have 10 hours, meaning that 2 hours. Jadi 2 kali 5, you have 10 hours of SLT for your synchronous meeting. The others yang saya cakap kan, saya kata jangan letak lecture but you put it as others. So you can actually include here, meaning that for SLT, for example, you just put 110 hours and you can add a note here. Okay, 10 hours will be guided SLT and synchronous. So your module ni semua 110 okay, 110 credit SLT saja. So the other 10 will be the guided learning. Boleh you mention here lah sebab this is a very customized, maksudnya you boleh ubah lah. From my one, this one I put it as 120, but if you would like to make it like 100 only for your SIM, then you can add here. SLT for guided learning will be 20 hours, for example lah. Kalau you nak, if 10 hours, you put 10 hours. No worries about that. Alright. Okay, SLT video 10 minutes atau 1 hour SLT. Synchronous meeting, how many minutes? So kalau synchronous meeting, kalau 2 hours, 2 hours lah. Okay, dia tak sama macam the asynchronous. Synchronous memang kalau kelas you 2 hours, you have 2 hours class, then it will be 2 hours of student SLT. Unless you are doing flipped classroom, you will include the, mungkin you nak letak kat sini flipped classroom lah. Okay, but usually if let's say you have 2 hours class, then it is equal to 2 hours of SLT. Begitu. Alright. Tapi yang asynchronous yang kita buat 10 minutes video equal to 1 hour. Alright, betul yang Dr. Hafizah share dekat situ adalah downloadable the course mapping. So you can download here. You click here, then you can download. Okay, thank you Dr. Haliza for sharing that. Hafizah, sorry. Okay. Okay. Alright, so let me just share you all. Alright. I have this here in my, okay, we already come to then tips and tricks. Alright. Before I show the QMT module. Alright, so in your self-instructional material, you can consist of audio, visuals, SIM, you can letak audio, you can they are printed SIM, they are digital SIM, web-based resources. Macam yang saya buat di Google Site ni adalah much more comprehensive lah, web-based resources. Okay, and then you can, and you can also have OER or courseware for digital SIM. Okay, for example, if I don't know whether you have it, but in our e-learn we subscribe to a Penapto, Panopto. All right, the Panopto software is actually, we can actually develop a very comprehensive video with and it is like a courseware. Okay, it can be made into independent SIM. Okay, so if you have Panopto, you can make a digital SIM. All right, so this is the one that I showed earlier. Okay, I just would like to show you what consists in this SIM. Yeah. First, we have the, kalau dulu-dulu, we have learning activities. All right, we have activity 4.1, 4.1, 4.1.5, we have 4.1.6. Okay, and then we have self-test. Okay, ini macam modul dulu-dulu lah sebenarnya. Alright, and then we have summary of unit 4, suggested answers to all the self-tests. So meaning that if you are giving your students self-learning activities kan, secara digital, you need to provide answer for them in advance. Maksudnya selepas aktiviti tersebut, you can have suggested answers to the self-test. Tak perlulah you tunggu untuk you tanda. You don't need to mark the self-test. They can actually review what they have answered for the self-test and they can see what they don't understand. So if let's say they don't understand, they have checked what they have done and then they tally it with the answer, tengok-tengok ada salah, then they can refer back to you. Okay, doktor, kenapa agaknya saya salah ni? And what sebenarnya apa misunderstanding saya? Saya rasa betul dah saya jawab ni, tapi bila saya tengok dengan soalan, the answers that you provided, I don't think kenapa saya salah. Then you can guide them for that, alright? And then also need references. Okay, so this is what the ODL institution have done. I did this for an ODL institution many years back lah. Okay, so this is the digital SIM. Kalau you nak guna Padlet tadi, you tengok bila I actually embed this in my Google Site. Okay, you can see that the title here, this is the topic, this is the resources, this is the Quizlet quiz yang tak nampak ni, and then I have the discussion. So if I would like to add any more materials or any more activities, I can just click there so that I can add. So this can be a SIM as well. Okay, and you embed this in your website. Yeah, at the moment, I embed it in my Google site. Okay, then structure of the SIM. Okay, you have to arrange title, introduction. I think by now you should actually have an idea how to arrange your SIM. Okay, but remember, as I mentioned yesterday, the key point is constructive alignment. Back to the constructive alignment, even if you are using this particular course mapping, please remember the constructive alignment. That's why I have the title, I have the course objective, I have the videos with the title of the videos, so that you know the titles will reflect the objectives, the learning outcomes, and then the forum, the activity, okay, and then designing infographic and so on will actually lead to the course learning outcome. The topic, the module learning outcome. So whatever I do in the resources and the activities and self-learning, self-evaluation will align with my module learning outcome as well as my CLO2. Okay, so nampak di sini alignment. So make sure that the key points is your constructive alignment. That's why I share that course mapping, because it will be easier for you to actually visualize how your SIM will be later on. Okay, and then the title. All right, so can you go here and try to answer this question? Okay, kalau you tengok tadi in my course just now, yang I letak dalam Padlet tu kan. Mana Padlet tadi? Here. Okay, this Padlet kan. You can see that I just put the topic, the course learning outcome, okay, topic learning outcome, and then I immediately masuk the video. Okay, so now I would like to know, because in a SIM, firstly you need to actually introduce your course to your students. Sebab you tak pernah lagi mengajar ODL. Okay, I assume lah you haven't been teaching ODL, but you have been actually teaching online for like 1 year. Okay, lebih kurang lah kan since the pandemic. So I would like you to think, I give you 2-3 minutes to think, how do you usually introduce your course at the beginning of the semester? Okay, during this 1 year, how do you usually introduce yourself online? Okay, you boleh letak dalam ni, ada my module tu, under structure of SIM, masuk Multimedia ni, and then you just short answer. Kalau saya, I always start with, I will answer here, start with an infographic. Okay, saya jawab. Okay, so kat sini nanti saya boleh tengok jawapan saya, start with infographic. So you just type in here. Okay. Okay, alamak. Dapat tak? Or you would like to go to Mentimeter? Saya just present dekat Mentimeter pun senang. Alright. Saya mula dengan situasi di organisasi. Alright. So either you masuk menti.com and use the code 3235429 untuk just share with us how do you usually introduce yourself. Remember, we are teaching ODL student. Tapi yang ini saya just would like you to just share what currently you are doing. Okay? 2-3 minutes just fikirkan apa yang you buat selama ni. This is a new things that we digital immigrants, okay, digital immigrant lah, saya assumekan we are all, most of us are digital immigrants, although you might be digital natives by nature, meaning that maybe you are younger than me, you were born 80 and above, 1980s and above, you might be digital native, but sometimes kita tidaklah se-advance our students. Okay, our students are real digital natives whereby they might be advanced in digital and we are struggling with using digital tools kan. But I think that we need to do that. Alright, we need to actually learn some of the digital tools to help us create content online sebab our students are different. Okay, our students are different. Kalau kita nak mengajar secara traditional for selepas pandemik pun it won't be that relevant anymore. Okay, but I do agree that we as lecturers, we are struggling. Sekarang ni pun saya pun struggling juga because I am very busy. I have my tugas pentadbiran. I have to train the lecturers. I have to do many things whereby I have less time to learn new things. Alright. So when I have less time to learn new things, sometimes I feel like I am too terkebelakang, backwards, because I don't know new things. And for example, a few, I think last month, I learned about Discord from my son. My son taught me how to use Discord for my students. Okay, selama ni saya pun tak tahu sebab Discord is something that youngsters use for their playing game. They play game, while they play games, they chat with their friends and they can do video conference using Discord. Orang-orang muda je tahu, tapi orang tua macam saya ni tak tahu. So that's why my son taught me how to do that. Alright. So dia cakap, okay, mami buat macam ni. This is how you do this. This is how, you know, it is possible for you to do this. Okay, baru I know that, oh, okay, the Discord is much more advanced than Webex, for example. But yes, we learn from our students lah. Okay, so we can see here, okay, this is mine. One of the comment is, this is anonymous kan, jadi boleh tambah lagi kalau you all nak. Alright, saya mula dengan situasi di organisasi. Alright, meaning that when you tell people about the situasi in organisasi, how do you actually sampaikan? Yang ini sebab kita kata usually kan, how we do it in our conventional class. So you will start with the situation in organisation. Alright, so how do you transfer that for ODL learners? Macam mana you nak start your course, you tak pernah jumpa pun that students, they are not meeting you face to face, and how do you describe the situation in your organisation via ODL? Okay, yang tu saya nak you all fikir. Okay, then a word cloud or graphic to introduce overall view of the course and a bit of description. Okay, good one. Alright, meaning that you are going to you can actually the first class you will actually introduce overall view of the course and a bit of description. This is what we usually do. Alright, if you are teaching online, then you might do the word cloud using synchronous Webex, for example. Okay, jumpa timetable, and then you are going to do your word cloud. Alright, guide them through the course outline, general goals, topic, and etc. Alright, so how do you do this? If you are doing this in your usual conventional course, so how do you do this for your ODL course? Alright, using web conferencing, okay, meaning that you are going to describe synchronously using Webex. I use Padlet in doing ice breaking with student. Okay, you use Padlet in doing ice breaking. This is also synchronous, can also be asynchronous. Alright, introduction through short video. Okay, you are using short video for your introduction, and then use introduction slide, give an overall view of the course and some description, introduce the assessment as well as CLOs, some description on how the course can be applied in real life. Okay, this is very comprehensive. And how are you going to do this for ODL student? All right, and then I focus on course learning objectives and relate how the course will help them in real life. Good. Okay, introducing myself. Okay, this is the first one that I say. I can see introducing myself. Yes, during your first class, you need to introduce yourself first. Okay, who are you? Okay, let the students have a feel that, you know, okay, this is my teacher, this is my lecturer for one semester, I need to know her. For example, kalau tengok muka Dr. Azidah, tayang video Dr. Azidah and see her face, oh, Dr. Azidah ni muka dia masam. So she might be garang lah dalam kelas, so mungkin she is not friendly, so you need to actually introduce yourself. Kalau muka macam saya, I should produce a video yang senyum-senyum sikit, so that, you know, the student have a sense of belonging. They know that, you know, their lecturers is approachable. That is important because ODL students, they are very lonely learning from their home. So they need their lecturers to be approachable if they have problems. Okay, and then I usually relate with the global issues. We actually relate with the reason why we are studying the course. Of course, some short YouTube and 09 newspaper cutting and relate to SDGR. This is very comprehensive, good one. All right. Use a short video to introduce the general idea of the course. Okay, short video to introduce them to the topic which will be learned in the course. All right, and then guide them through the course outline and so on. Good one. Okay, actually this is all good, meaning that you have an idea of how, okay, you usually introduce your course. Okay, however, I like this one and this one because it is very comprehensive and you are going, this is also good, meaning that produce a short video. All right, so let me just okay, just now I saw a comment from Dr. Unzaimah, first time using menti.com. Okay, yeah, I think most of us actually have been using Menti lah, tapi so canggih. Alright, after this you can use Menti with your students. Okay, Dr. Unzaimah. Okay, relating CLO to real life needs to be useful to students, especially for working. Yes, betul. Alright. So this will be motivating factor for them to learn. So I think that, you know, when you relate, some of you mentioned here, relate the CLO to the course, okay, it will actually help them to focus. Dia tahu bahawa they will be able to use what they have learned in the course with their real life. They really need that, all right? Especially for adult learners. I do agree with Dr. Ginovasi, all right? Okay, so this is what how you usually introduce yourself in for the for you usually introduce your course. Let me just show you how Dr. Jaya. This is Dr. Jaya course, instructional design, but I'm sorry I'm not able to give you access to this module because it is private. Only it is open to only USM students and lecturers. Okay. However, I can just share with you all what we have got here. All right. So this course is, let me just maximize it a little bit. All right. So this course, this module is in open learning lah. Okay, open learning. So we use different platform for our online learning. Okay, online outsiders. If you would like to open to outsiders, it is in open learning. All right. So, but this course at the moment it is only open to internally. All right. So, in Dr. Jaya's in Dr. Jaya's instructional design, dia ada tulis di sini, there are some texts about this is an introductory course on how to design instruction, and then she has a paragraph of what is the course all about. Okay, it is the synopsis of the course lah. All right. So, and then, okay, this is her welcoming message to the students. Okay, you can see that she get about course map, assessment, contents, and contact. So in this particular video, she covers all about the course, okay, course mapping, assessment, like some of you mentioned just now. Okay, this one, I think. This one, all right, CLO, and followed by topics and assessment. Okay, so this is what she is doing. Let me just show you the video. Sekejap ya, it is a bit slow. Hari ni line tak berapa okey. Let me just tutup beberapa tab so that it won't be. So that my browser is not too heavy. All right.
Hi there. Welcome to a course on instructional design. I'm your instructor, Dr. Jayamita Kumar. A bit about me. I'm a senior lecturer in the Center of Instructional Technology and Multimedia. I love design, and I'm passionate about teaching and exploring instructional strategies covering design, development, and interaction. About this course. This is an introductory course on how to design instructions. You will be exposed to how and why you should perform various analyses in designing an instruction, understand different instructional models, and select what works for you. And by so, also develop goals and objectives while understanding the basics of designing and testing any instructional system. The delivery of this course is based on the Tick and Carry instructional design model. Next, in this course, you need to complete 3 different objectives. The first is analysis, where you will need to perform needs analysis, learner, instructional, and conduct analysis. The second is to develop goals, objectives, and instructional strategies. And lastly, the third one is to describe an assessment plan. To complete the instructional design course, you will need to complete 9 different modules. The first is an introduction. The second, ID models. The third is on needs assessment. The fourth is on instructional analysis. The fifth on entry behavior. The sixth on performance objective. Seventh on criterion reference tests. Eighth on instructional strategy. And lastly, on evaluation. After you have completed the 9 different modules, you will be assessed based on 2 different theoretical tests. As for the other assessments, which are project, presentation, and reports, they are conducted in a group. Therefore, you will need to contact me further on how you will be able to achieve this. The contents of this course will be delivered based on narrated lecture videos, educational videos, reading materials, interactive tools, non-graded quiz, feedbacks, and every time you complete a topic in your module, you will be given a badge. Accumulation of this badge will award you with a certification of completion. Lastly, please feel free to email me at amanta@usm.my, or you can phone or fax me at the numbers provided. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So you can see that in Dr. Jaya's introduction, she briefly introduced herself. Okay. Then she actually do the overview of the course. Okay, how do the assessment and so on, what consists in the course, the course mapping and so on. So this is I think it is a 3 minutes video, 3 and 2, 5 video, 3.25 minutes video, whereby it comprehensively share the content of the course to the students. So this should be done to your ODL students. Something like this, not similar, but that's why I ask you how you actually introduce your course to your student. Okay, I have some idea and I see that some of you have the comprehensive idea, same as what Dr. Jaya is doing now, but this is how we visualize what you were saying just now in Menti, that you can see it being done. All right. So for example, yes, you know, from your reflection just now, I see that maybe some of us, we are not into technology and we find it hard. Nak nampak macam cantik je Dr. Jaya punya video just now, but when you think about alamak nak kena buat video macam ni, it might be hard. So that's why in ODL we required the institution to have the unit. Okay, ada unit satu lah untuk membantu. They might not be able to help you in everything sebab when we talk about ODL, the content, the customization is from the lecturer. However, if you would like to do a video like this, the team might be able to, you know, you provide the content, you provide the slide for the content, and then they will help you to put it together. All right, this is what we do in USM lah. Okay. Right, then for Dr. Jaya's course, we have this module information. By the end of module 1, you should be able to define and describe. This is the topic learning outcomes, and then we have this getting around for students. For new students, okay, they will read this. This module is part of the instruction design from the Center for Instructional Technology Multimedia USM. Ada 9 modules, alright, and then it is actually some summarization from the video as well. So we have also text so that the students will be able to read. Okay, and then all the modules only cover the theoretical background. So these are the some important points that you might want to highlight. Okay. And then in here, we have the course mapping. Okay, sebenarnya this one already been mentioned in this particular video, but Dr. Jaya has this course mapping as well, whereby dia tulis balik sebab mungkin the students, they don't want to repeat the video. Sekali dah tengok, sekali okay, maybe they will repeat twice and then tak nak tengok dah lah. Alright, but to recall what is the content in this particular sim, she put the course map here. Okay, ada module introduction, and then she has 9 modules. She has described this actually in the earlier video. Alright, so this is some infographic for the students. Okay, yang ni saya ada letak dekat dalam sim ni, saya rasa dalam this so you can see that it is here, so you can actually refer to here lah. Okay, the course mapping for the whole course. Jadi you buat course map ini for your students to be able to know what are the content of the topics in the whole course. Okay, so this one I already described to you all. Okay, so you can refer here. Okay, 10 types of, I just embed a website here. Okay, 10 types of visual aids for learning and teaching aid template. So you can refer here for other types of, Okay, ada iklan dekat situ. So you can use educational poster. So you can read this lah later on to guide you with actually make your sim much more interactive. You don't only, because you know, ODL is about learning, the students are learning by themselves at home and so on. So if let's say you have the same template all over again in your sim, it actually will bore them, make them boring lah. So you can actually make poster like this. You can see in Dr. Jaya's introduction just now, she do something like this in her video. Alright. So you can create, yang ni boleh klik, then you can create poster template lah, something like this. Alright, you can actually use icons and so on. Alright, so you must remember that. Saya kecilkan sikit. You must remember that our students, okay, although they are apa orang kata online pelajar jarak jauh ya, tetapi they are still learners with different learning style. We have visual learners, we have kinesthetic learners yang mana mereka kena buat something, okay, to learn. Alright, they are auditory students. That's why we have the podcast. Kalau visual, kita letak video or kita letak infographics. And then ada stress student, dia learn from what stresses them. Kita kena bagi dia stress baru dia boleh learn. And then ada students ease, meaning that learns from what relaxes them. Okay, mungkin music slow, others di samping you punya video, it really relax them. And then scribble student, learn what they write out. So mungkin you need to make them write, okay, for self-learning. Okay, and then they learn from authority, they learn from teaching. Okay, we as educators, we learn from teaching. When I give training, I learn new things, all right? And then learn from what they can copy. Okay, so in this website, it is a very comprehensive. Dia ada poster template and so on. All right, dan juga dia ada ajar different types of infographic. Okay, you can make infographic to summarize a new topic. So let's say you would like your students to be able to, you bagi satu bahan ya. It is not wrong in a sim for you to give a reading resources. You give an article, you said, okay, this is a reading resources. You need to read this article. From this article, please design an infographic so that and post the infographic in this Padlet. You can actually embed the Padlet in your e-lead. Okay, for example, so you just letak je Padlet dekat dalam situ, then you have the reading punya resources, and then there are activities, and the activities memang you kena tengok lah sebab dia buat infographic, which is okay. Alright, so let me go back to Dr. Jaya's course. Alright, so dia punya course map, and then there are comments lah bawah ni. Alright, and then learning activities. Okay, learning activities. She has module 1. Okay, so let me just open this. She has a brief overview of topic 1. Let me just open the video. Okay, dia ada letak completion times. Okay, you don't need to put this explicitly, but if you do, it is much better. Alright, much better lah kalau you letak macam ni, completion time 40 minutes, video ada 20 minutes. Reading 50 minutes, assessment 5 minutes. This is the actual time for the students to go through this particular topic. Okay, maksudnya video ini 20 minutes dan sebagainya lah, tapi SLT dia mungkin akan lebih tinggi disebabkan oleh mungkin dia akan she or he will actually review this again and again and so on. That's why if we put 20 minutes video it is equal to 2 hours. Tetapi this is completion time, meaning that time they will take to do this module. Okay, let me just open the video.
Hi there. So this is the first module for this course. It's basically an overview about what is instructional design and what does an instructional designer do. So if you tell somebody that you're an instructional designer, the next question is, what does an instructional designer do?
Okay, for your information, in this module, this is the only video that she put her face in. Alright, yang ni je satu-satunya yang ada muka dia lah dalam penerangan, whatever. Okay, for other videos, she only use her voice. She don't put her photo, her face lah. That is okay. Meaning that the first video you put your photo, you put your face inside the video because you would like the students to have this sense of belonging. I keep on saying that sense of belonging because some of the module prepared haven't got any, relationship. Tak ada pun hubungan dengan the lecturer. So it is like, the ODL dah lah tak jumpa lecturer face to face. Then they are not able to see the lecturers, kan? So that's why it is important that you customize the video. Okay, mostly use your own video. Saya keep on cakap, tak salah kalau nak guna video lain, but there is a must for you to prepare some video for your student. Okay, right, so stop there. Okay, and then she put here, please read this article to get a better understanding. And then under here, she has immediately she has a quiz. Okay, yang ni sebab saya dah buat dah. Right, katalah saya nak try again. Okay, and then check. Incorrect. Okay, and then this is the second question. So I just click here because learning is about creating and so on. And then I check. Okay, it is correct. So this is what we call self-evaluation. Jadi kita dah dengar, the student already listen, watch the video, and maybe they have read the articles and so on, then they akan jawab lah this quiz. Okay, and then alright, so if they would like to, they have comment and so on, they can write it here. They can say, Dr. Jaya, the video is okay, but I don't understand whatever it is. So can you just tell me again whatever lah question yang dia nak tanya. So they can make comment in here so that they will be able to communicate with the lecturer asynchronously. Because bila you letak comment, the students, they won't be able to receive the comment, the feedback immediately, but you will be able to actually answer their question. All right. Okay, for example, this is the students' comment. All right. Thank you for the informative video. It helps me give an overview of this topic. Okay. So if let's say dia tanya satu soalan, you can reply and okay, for example, dia punya comment adalah I don't really understand about the video. Can you describe further about instructional design? Then I can answer here, and then I can also attach a file, a photo or whatever and post comment. So this will be done asynchronously. Okay, you can see that this is the example of a sim that you can guide you to actually design your own sim. Okay. All right, so this is her first module, and then she has topic 2. Okay, this is topic 1. Topic 2, right? She has completion time 30 minutes, video 10 minutes, reading 10 minutes, assessment 10 minutes. So this is her video. And then some reading materials, and then she has a question here. What do you think is the best teaching methods that you have been exposed to, and how was the instruction conveyed? Okay, so you boleh letak thought kat situ and then boleh tulis lah. Okay, or if I would like to take photo, okay, I can upload an image here. The students can upload image here, and then if I would like to upload a video or link to a video, the students can actually upload a video and link to a video, and then they can actually share a URL and attachment. All right, so this is actually self-learning activity. Okay, self-learning activity, self-learning resources. You have the resources. And then the lecturer just post a question, but they can do a lot of things here whereby they can actually include discussion, they can upload and so on. All right. Okay, you can see that most of the students, they just comment. All right, they don't maximize. Okay, but maybe for me, maybe the instruction can be actually extended towards, okay, please upload your thinking using infographic, for example. Okay, please describe your thinking using mind maps, for example. Then they will upload a file lah. If you just put like this, they will answer by giving you the typing up the discussion to answer the questions only. So clear instruction is a must in an ODL environment. Okay. Anyone have any question for now? Clear ya? Dah nampak contoh? You have seen the contoh of the SIM.
Dr. Azidah.
Okay, Dr. Azidah, what is your recommendation for the student-teacher ratio? Okay, this is not my recommendation, but you need to follow the MQA ratio lah actually. The ratio is for undergrads, it is 1 teacher to 30 kot kalau tak silap for coursework. Alright, kalau tak silap it is one lecturer 30 students, especially for ODL lah, kita tak boleh ada ramai-ramai. Just now I mentioned about USM. Okay, USM is a bit different because mereka punya kaedah tu adalah they have big classes, but they divide for the lecture. The lecture, they are doing the lecture for the whole cohort, 400 students, but they give them tutorial group for different lectures like that. So that is how they count the ratio between the students and the lecturer. But it is around one lecturer to 30 students according to MQA lah, begitu. Sebab tak boleh ramai because we are doing ODL and the students might need our attention. So yes, it is according to what we do conventionally jugalah. Okay, ada soalan lagi?
Ada from Dr. Sharon, Dr. Azidah, in the chat room.
Saya tengok. Baru muncul. Oh, okay, nampak baru. Okay. It looks like the platform used by USM is open learning, which was what we use for MOOC. What should be our platform for UNIMAS? Yang tu I tak boleh nak jawab. Okay, orang UNIMAS yang kena jawab. However, I think you might be using the same platform lah. Kalau kita tengok ya, this is from my experience because memang disebabkan oleh we use open learning. We have actually customized the open learning for our micro credential, and our micro credential is also used as a SIM. So let me just silap pula. Although the platform is open learning, but we have customized it to USM, whereby the URL is learningforlife.usm.my. Okay, the platform is open learning, but we use our own domain. If you would like to have a look at our platform, I just put it in the chat box. Like Dr. Kartini is mentioning there, the UNIMAS suggestion that you are going to maintain the eLeap as your ODL platform. I think that, in USM as well, okay, we actually, for our PJJ, because we have our PJJ course, Pusat Pengajian Pembelajaran Jarak Jauh, which is School of Distance Education. And we have actually we have actually duplicate our e-learn, become their platform. But this one, because we are opening this micro-credential to everybody, okay, but whatever we have in the micro-credential can be considered as SIM, okay, because it is designed to be a self-instructional material, okay, our micro-credential. Okay, so this is the one that I use, okay, Dr. Jaya punya course, alright. Okay, we have also other courses lah yang boleh ditengok kalau you would like to have a look. Yang ini Dr. Rosita Abdullah, you can go to the course. Okay, but sometimes it is not open to people outside USM lah kalau you nak tengok. Tapi ada juga yang free that you can actually use. Okay, I am for your information, I am the coordinator for this website, so that's why I can actually access everything. Okay, but some of the course they are not open to anybody lah. Okay, so for example, this suntikan insulin menggunakan pen, it is actually from a course. Okay, they have topic 1, topic 2, topic 3 and so on. Okay, and then they have penilaian and then they have rujukan and so on. Alright. Okay, so yeah, if you would like to have a look in our platform here, feel free, because there are some courses which are apa orang kata open to people to have a look. Dr. Terry asked me, can you show example of ODL course using USM Moodle platform? Unfortunately, I cannot show you because I don't have access, because I'm not from that particular school of distance education. They have different platform whereby I'm not the one who manage that. I can show you the USM platform because I am managing the e-learn at USM, but for the ODL platform, other people, the dekan is managing that particular platform because they have different platform for ODL. And we have also our MBA program which is ODL as well. Jadi bila I am the auditor, I can only access the other platform when I am auditing. Dia orang takut saya tengok selalu, so I cannot access that one. Alright, so sorry for that. And then, okay, so no more questions there. Alright, so you can actually, tapi dalam this particular Learning for Life at USM, actually we have free courses that you, kalau course itu kena bayar, janganlah masuk nanti you kena bayar pula. Alright, but for example, you can see that it is on now. Okay, kalau sebab saya biasanya boleh masuk tanpa bayar. Alright, but if it is, for example, Prof Karim punya course ini, it is I think it is a free course, so you can actually go in and have a look because it has 274 students and it is free. It is type of SIM. You can see how Prof Karim arrange. Okay, Prof Karim arrange. Okay, my one now it is on now, but it is 20 ringgit. Tak payahlah masuk. Alright. Okay. Alright. So what is the time? 11:55. Let me just conclude the SIM. All right, so meaning that you can refer to I'm not going to delete this module. This module is always like my sharing for if I'm doing the SIM trainings. All right, so you can have a look, and then here this is the structure of the SIM, and then the learning outcomes. If you have problems to do your learning outcomes, okay, there is how to write your objectives. Okay, this is the Bloom taxonomy. All right, so Bloom taxonomy, if you have problem to write your micro topics outcome, module learning outcomes, Okay, you can actually follow this. Meaning that this is remember until create. So for example, if let's say you want your students to do something, this is the verbs that they are using. Okay, you can at the end of the course, this is for CLO as well. At the end of the course, student will be able to design something, they will be able to assemble something and so on. If you want them to apply, at the end of the course, student will be able to solve, they will be able to demonstrate and so on. Okay. So, and then they will be able to recall facts and basic info, so they will be able to define, duplicate, and so on. So this actually Bloom taxonomy, you can Google and also you can find the verbs. I have a much more comprehensive one, okay, whereby you can also look for effective domain by Krathwohl. Okay, what are the verbs that can be used in your course and topic learning outcome. You can see here, I have CCBY Azidah Abu Ziden 2021. So if you would like to copy whatever, it is allowed, meaning that if let's say you would like to reuse whatever I have here, feel free to do that. For example, if you would like to share my slide here, feel free to do that because it is CCBY by Creative Commons. Okay, Creative Commons. So you can share alike. Okay, I think that's it for today. So I think I have covered all about self-instructional material. If it is a face-to-face workshop, actually you are going to do it in the during the workshop lah. You are going to actually produce the structure of your SIM and so on. But since this is a webinar, then we might have less time and juga less hands-on session. Okay. So for that, I'm sorry. So I think that's it. I think I would like to pass back to Dr. Mazlina. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Welcome, Dr. Azidah. Thank you very much, Dr. Azidah, for impactful content for yesterday and today's workshop. Okay, so I really hope that participants have information, have knowledge in order to develop MQA 01 for open distance learning, as well as constructing what we call self-instructional material for open distance learning. Thank you very much for your time and participations for this two-day workshop, and I really appreciate the knowledge and information provided by Dr. Azidah to us directly from USM to us as what we call the auditor in MQA as well. So all the best to everyone. So if let's say you have any question, any concern regarding ODL, please feel free to communicate with the CAMS representative. Maybe you can communicate with Dr. Kartini, you can communicate with Dr. Terry as well as Dr. Hafizah. So I think that's all for today. Thank you very much for your attention. Assalamualaikum, stay safe. And take care, everyone.
Thank you very much, Dr. Azidah, Dr. Mazlina.
Terima kasih semua.
Take care, everyone.